in the last 30 years, 30 years. I think I've been in Suriname with about 30 times. It's been so many times I forget about it.
29 years.
Yeah,
29 years.
29 years. So I've been to Suriname so many times that I think I'm almost a citizen. They don't even give me no problem. They think I'm Surinamese. So I open my mouth and start talking. They oh, you know. So I thank God for that. So I thank God for this great missionary department. Also, I thank God for Sister Sonia Johnny came. She don't went on to heaven, but she's done a great, outstanding work in spreading the great gospel in the missionary department. And thank God for that. And I know I thank God for Sister Lee too. She done a great work. And a lot of them, some of them, they going on. And Sister Kenny, she's still alive, but she done a great work. They not with us right now, but when they was here, they've done a good work. And I appreciate them for that. And so today what I want to do is uh, we've been studying a little bit in the book of Corinthians. And in the book of Corinthians, around about the 15th chapter, we find out that Paul get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem, will somebody find it for me? You read in Dutch and English, 15 and about 16. Paul started the church in Corinthians. It was a port city. It had quite a few members. It had a background of, I think, some kind of idolatry, because at that time when Paul came to Corinth, there was just only one church that was we thought say a Christian church or Spirit-filled church, and that's the church that he started. But before that, everybody else was full of idolatry. Okay, can somebody read for me 15? And Paul said, "Why say some among you?"
In Dutch or English, Bishop?
Either one of them may be different.
Immers, indien er geen doden opgewekt worden, dan is Christus ook niet opgewekt. En indien Christus niet is opgewekt, dan is uw geloof zonder vrucht, dan zijt gij nog in uw zonde.
18.
Dan zijn ook zij die in Christus ontslapen zijn verloren. 19.
Yeah, 19 too.
Indien wij alleen voor dit leven onze hoop op Christus gebouwd hebben, zijn wij de beklagingswaardigste van alle mensen.
Okay, so at the church of Corinthians, somebody, Paul is saying when he wrote back, he's in the 15th chapter now, but the majority of it we read from chapter 1 to chapter 15, I'm sure in the Christian education. He says, why say some among you there is no resurrection? So evidently there was somebody who was preaching there was no resurrection and the resurrection is past. You may have had 3 preachers preaching that. It's like this morning I'm preaching. This is one I'm preaching, but it's a lot of people listening to what I'm saying. So it's going to affect a whole lot of people. What people preach is what affects you. We have a lot of things that go on in the world today on social media, conspiracy theories. People believe what people say. People believe what preachers say. They believe what people say in different places. You wonder why they do it, but they do. And so the church over there, somebody was preaching there's no resurrection. And Paul said, hey, if there's no resurrection, you sin yet in your sins.
Right.
Because that's one thing that we do preach in the Church of Living God International, is God raising Jesus from the dead. That's the essential theme of the gospel. And for every believer, every preacher, that's one thing that we should be preaching from time to time. God raised Jesus from the dead. You should not go for a whole year and you have not preached on the resurrection. And you should also preach on that Jesus soon to come back. Because he's soon to come back, am I right? The world is wondering, what's going on in the world? Especially in the United States, they have forest fires, tornadoes, hurricanes. This had a hurricane that's come through there. It's tore up a whole lot of stuff. The earth is travailing to be delivered. Jesus is getting ready to come.
Yeah.
And so we know that, but the world don't know that. We know that, but they know there's something getting ready to happen. And so we know that Jesus is getting ready to come for us, the church, the saints of God. He's getting ready to come. And that's the reason we live in the way we live, and that's the reason we're doing what we're doing, because we want to be ready to go back when he comes. So Paul is saying, why say some of y'all that there's no resurrection of the dead? That spirit had gotten into the church. A spirit is a teaching. But somewhere they could have been good preachers, but they picked it up from somewhere. And they was preaching that the resurrection was past. Paul said, oh no. He says, I know what the problem is over in Corinthians. He says, there's a division among you. He says, you're cardinal. Mm-hmm. He says, there's fornication among you. You carrying each other to court. You taking communion on. There's a whole lot of problems going on. But those problems, Paul said, was related to the doctrine that's being taught. Behind every spirit or every teaching, there's a spirit. I don't care what you preach on, a spirit comes with it. And Paul said, finally, my brothers, be what?
Strong in the Lord.
Strong in the what?
In the Lord.
And the power of might is what? Power of might. Okay. So you want to be strong in the Lord, right? And Paul, that's another statement Paul always used. I would not have you to be ignorant, brother. He was talking to the saints. I don't want you to be ignorant. And I'm the same way. I don't want you to be ignorant about anything. And right now, we live in a time where there's a lot of things that's going on. There's a lot of controversy. You know, we got controversy over with the vaccine. We have vaccine. Some say they do, some say they don't. Even my own family. Not like with me, I have to have vaccination because I won't never be able to go to the United States. If I don't have a vaccination, me and Elder John never be able to go back to surgery. Because the first thing you're gonna ask when you get ready to get on that plane, do you have to have vaccination say now? Yes, sir. You do, because I know Sarah said it's one day.
Yeah, she's leaving today, right now.
Okay. She's getting ready to go. And the first thing they're gonna ask you, do you have your vaccination? And I know for Europeans, your General Assembly, you won't have to have vaccination. And the reason we're not having we have our jurisdiction meeting this year in October, we want to invite everyone to come, is that even in the United States right now, they're saying that if you have your vaccination, and I think I was with Jessica, I think it's one of them, and I had to go get my shot, a shot, I had to get in Germany, a yellow fever shot before I could go. So I had to take serum before I could go to surgery. So I already knew I could say, well, okay, I don't want to take no serum. And I was honest, I was a little afraid about it because they did set me down when they got ready to give me the shot. They said, but you could fall dead. I was scared. The first time we went, I said, I don't think so. I said, I don't think I want to take the serum. And I left. I had to get to Frankfurt. And I said, no, I'm not going to take it. And I went back home. And then I had to go back and check. I said, bitch, why did you take it? And he told me, he said, well, yeah. He said he took it. And Elder Herman, he always take his shot. And so I said, okay, because I'm having to do everybody else is doing it, I'm going to have to do it too. And I know if they ask me, what's your shot record at, and I don't have it, I'm not going nowhere. And I already bought my airline ticket. And for some reason, my airline ticket is always high. I think I bet I'm just going to say 4 days. So that was 1,300 euro. And I couldn't afford to lose no 1,300 euro ticket because I couldn't take no shot. So I went and took the shot. And the woman gave me the shot before. And I should have known that the Lord was going to keep it. But I'm going to be honest, I was a little afraid. About the first 15 minutes, I was saying, oh, I was sweating too. I said, well, 4 days, you don't want to yellow fever shot because it's after 65. They give you this long, and you know how they do. They give you this long, what can happen to you, So like before you have operation, they set you there and say, well, this could happen, that could happen, all that. And so it's precautions. Yeah. And so, but I thank God that I have to take my shot because I got to go see my grandkids. I got to go to the 2000 General Assembly. I don't have to have that because they're going to take some of these rules now they're having right now. And so in order for me to go to the States, I have to have my shot. And I got to go to the General Assembly. For me to go to Suriname, I had to have my shot, my yellow fever shot because of Zika. And so that's the reason I had to do it because of the gospel. I do a lot of things because, matter of fact, I do everything because of the gospel. And anything that will hold me back, anything as small as that, I think I could overcome. And so that's a lot of controversy over that right now. even I have a little controversy, I'll be honest, with my own daughter and my grandkids. I said, Claudia, have you had your shot? Me and Curtis. But Curtis is a little bit more, they're not his kids. She's my daughter, and that's his sister. So he's a little bit more, if I might say, forward, young, aggressive. I mean, little John, you haven't got no gray hair yet. Yeah, and so he kind of attacks her a little bit. I said, kids don't be doing that. She's a grown woman too, but she got 3 kids. They're my grandbabies, and I love them. And I said, you need to get a shot, and they need to get a shot. That's my opinion, because it's for their good. And I said, if y'all want to come and see me, you're gonna have to have your shot, But for some reason, she come with some scripture, something like it. But I know it was wrong opinion, But I'm still calm with it, and I just still talk to her from time to time. She said, "Well, Dad, I've been thinking about it. I think I might change my mind about it." And I know it's now that the girls got to go to school, they got to have shots. Her school and started back, but I don't know if they didn't get enough. And Tobias was over here. He stayed for 3 months. I appreciate that, but he never did have his shots. And so he went back. I said, Tobias, when you go back, make sure you get your wife and go get your shot. Elder John, he ain't got no shots yet. And when I call him, he won't call me since that's me. You know why? Because the first thing I'm asking, have you got your vaccination? And he ain't got, why? I don't know. And what they do is, when you're parent, they just avoid me. Because they know I'm gonna ask a question. Now with Curtis, they have confrontations. Curtis gonna, he gonna preach to them a little bit, and they're gonna be talking back to them, don't you be preaching to me, and they have that a little bit. So probably Curtis need a little bit more wisdom. But my desire is that they do get their vaccinations, because this stuff is going around with the kids and everything else, and safer with it. And then sometimes when don't have it, it's just like, can I get close to you? I'm not worried about you giving it to me because I should be protected, all right? Because yesterday we was down in Bowling Down, the Saints treated me so nice. Went down there and they treated me so nice. I really appreciate it. Y'all was doing a missionary work and we went down there and the place was packed out. We got down there, John, the place was jam packed. You couldn't get a parking space. And we was walking, and the best thing, like, they don't care, they didn't have no masks on, but in Germany they wear masks. And and they was all on top of each other. It was like they wouldn't even care. They didn't care about no corona, And I said, I was worried about 2 people. I was worried about me, I'm worried about me, and I was worried about Priya, because I know we have underlying conditions. The Priya didn't seem to be too bothered. So I said, she's not too bothered. And I was watching her husband too. He didn't seem to be too concerned about Priya. And so the people that seem to be concerned about no corona. It was the Bowling Down, but it was all the white people. And they was all over the place. So, but I know one thing, I felt a lot better because I do have my shot. And so I didn't feel like I could have them, but I did thank God for Elder John. Now that's mean they did get that shot. And I know some people make an argument out of that, but if they wouldn't have that argument, they may not be there today. And so we thank God for that. But it's just a matter of, I don't want to make no controversy out of should you take your shot, should you not. It's less that you're grown. You grown. And it should not, that spirit should not get into the church. And people should not get behind the pulpit, you need to take your vaccine. If you don't take the vaccine, you're going to hell. That's your doctrine. Because some people do that. And that spirit that got in the church overcorrect.
Yeah.
The resurrection is past.
Right.
Now today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask for a little help from some of these young people. I'm going to let them know what I'm doing. It's my job as a presiding bishop is to keep this jurisdiction going, to build it up. I'm getting to be an older man, and I know I ain't got that much time left. The signs have already got some of the signs, but I'm not going to be here too much longer. I'm not saying 2 weeks. I'm planning on living. I'm trying to be 100 if I can, but I ain't trying to get that right now. But
Right.
I do want to get this jurisdiction built up so it can go on without me.
Amen.
Any good leader should always if you the pastor where so if something would happen to you, and we learn that from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
He had them fellas together, and he says, now I can go and die. But he didn't go and die until he hadn't read it. And when Peter said, Jesus said, what do people say that I am? He said, I am Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus said, it's time for me to go to the cross. I can go now because they know who I am. I cannot go to the cross. Been thinking I'm John the Baptist raised from the dead, because that's the wrong doctrine. Jesus is not John the Baptist raised from the dead. He's not Jeremiah. He's the Son of God. And you have to get your doctrine right. All right? So that's what I want to do. I want the young people. They've been in this church for a long time, and a lot of them I give a lot of liberty because the reason I do that because Mitch White gave me a lot of liberty. We got my pastor. She's been in church all her life, ever since she was a baby. My parents raised in this church. And they get to the age now, they're not no more babies. You have to let them grow up. They grown folk. And they got to have babies themselves. And it's like my pastor just couldn't just maintain being the youth leader forever. But then she's a pastor and she's a mother too. You see what I'm talking about? So you got to grow. You just don't want to get stuck in one position. You're going higher and higher. And so we got what's your name? Priya. Priya been this all her life. I've been knowing her ever since they was babies. Safario, Dominico, and then we have girls. They just kind of come in and stood. And we got Curtis, well, he's been around forever, but he's the bishop's son. And if you look at her,
33.
she's 33 years old. All right. I'm gonna give you what's the average age of a Dutch?
Average age?
Yeah.
Oh.
Before they die. 80.
80.
Okay. And how many more years you have left? And we're gonna get on it. But later on, if you live holy, live right, and Jesus don't come, you're gonna be live long as Elder John. You can go to 100.
Yes, sir.
But if we give her 80 years, how many more years does she have left?
47, sir.
How many?
47.
Jim, very good. Okay, 47 more years. And so you want to look at that from a leader's perspective. 47 more years in the Church of Living God in Holland. You can Bishop Lee, and I just have a few more years, give me 15, 20. Well, but she got 47 years. You take like Megan. Megan, where are you at? A great youth leader. Praise and mission. I just love to see her lead praise and mission. She can bring the spirit. When you want your spirit, your service is not called on Megan. She live a good life. It comes out in her praise and mission. How old are you, girl?
27.
27? If you live to be 80.
53 years.
How many more years you got?
53.
53 years. We have to mathematically look at it. We got 47 over here, 53 years over here, and Safari, he's 26, something like that. And then we have she's a little bit older, but how old are you, boy?
46, sir.
46. You got 8. How many more years you got?
34.
34. If you put out, you see what I'm saying? You put all of them together, they got a lot of years left in this jurisdiction. And these are the people that's going to carry the church on. These are the people who've been in the church all their life. They didn't start, they didn't get saved one day because they just walked and street, somebody saved and invited them to a mission. That's great too. But they've been in the church all of their life. And say 20 more years, they'll say, I remember, in 1921. 2017, we had a problem in the church, but God worked it out. But you be over.
Right.
Might have a few gray hairs, might have 2 or 3 kids, but you still be in the church. That's called experience. And that's what you need in the church. And when the devil comes to break a church up, he steals the experience. The people who have been around for a long time, they said, I was young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen what?
The righteous forsaken.
And me and Elder Johnson say that. I was young. When I got saved, I was a young man. I was 20-something years old. I've been saved almost 50 years. I was young, but now 50 years getting old. I understand that. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken. That's called experience. And I can tell you, stay with the Lord. I don't care what you're going through with, what it might look like. You keep staying with the living God International. You stay with it. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody pull you back. You stay in this church because God chose you. What makes you different from everybody else? Because God chose you. So God, you're not special because you chose God. You're special because God chose you. And you know the condition that you were in when he chose you. Some of us wasn't doing that good. And some of us, and quit fooling yourself that you're going to be somebody great in the world without God. And quit feeling sad because God saved you from being a sinner. He saved you from fornication. He saved you from this and that, being a dope addict, a drug dealer. Because if not, we'd be watching television. I could have been somebody in the world. You can't be nobody. What's in the world is only temporary. 3 things in the world: the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and pride. That's all it is. And it's over. But what you have now, God chose you to be who you are. If you in your little church and there's 5 people and they look around and say, why are you in here? God chose me. And it should make you feel special. Amen. I feel special. Out of all my family, God chose me. Amen. My family, none of them don't have, they can't believe like I believe Elder Joe. They can't. Before my mother passed away and my brother, they could not believe the way I believe. No, my sister's the only one still alive. She can't believe what I believe. But God gave me the mind to believe the way I do and to do what I do. You know, they could never say, why you on the journey? You know, because God chose you to go to Germany. How long are you going to be in Germany? As long as God tell me to stay in Germany. He told me to come, but he never told me to go back. And I ain't going to know him. Like it's my orders. I'd be like, Sister Lee, I ain't going back, you carry me back. But if the Lord don't tell me to go back, I ain't going nowhere. Because I enjoy doing what I'm doing. You know? And if he being special, that makes the people that I serve special. Because God chose you. Even though some of you can be trying at times, but your brothers and sisters are special in God because he chose them. And we ought to look at each other that way. You are a special group of people. That's when you believe in what you believe in. Don't be like looking at the world like, you know, the world got everything, you don't have nothing. Now the reason that you're where you are because God chose you. And you ought to thank God for being chosen. And you should feel special. Everyone should feel special. Now what I want to do is, I want y'all to help Bishop Lee out. Because Paul said, my brothers, I don't want you to be ignorant. How would you say that in Dutch, baby? Megan, how would you say it? Huh? Yeah. You don't want your children to be ignorant about anything that's going on. Am I right? You know, they have. You get it. Okay. I'm